when we consider effective classroom management skills, so classroom actually, what comprises a classroom? A classroom is for the student, and it is the teacher who is making it a classroom. The student just sitting in the classroom won't make a classroom. Classroom is a place where learning happens. So when you are a teacher in the classroom, the most important thing is that you are controlling that class, you are the commander of the class, you are the master of the class. So that means when you are in the class, there should not be any student even moving or standing or going to another place without your permission. So that means you are the commander of the class. Even when a visit by principal or your HM or VP, associate VP, anybody has no right to enter without taking permission from you. So that is something you have to understand. So you are the master of the class. When you are the master of the class, you need to possess skills. And we are all teachers. I taught for 33 years, and you have been teaching for years in different schools. In this school, you are maybe 1 year, half a year, a few months, like that. So it doesn't matter. Whatever you are, whether you are new to the teaching world, or you are little bit experienced, or you are more experienced, it depends upon your deliverance, your way of teaching, your methodology, the pedagogy you are applying in the classroom. That is going to make you a good teacher. And good teacher is always remembered by the students, and not only that, the parents also. So parents are happy with those teachers with whom the student has got a rapport. Yes, we will look into that. And when we consider time management, the time management is not just that 35 or 40 minutes period that is with you for teaching. It is something beyond that. What are the areas you have to consider for time management, the way you are planning for your class. So when you have to have a plan. You have to have a plan for 40 minutes. Not have a plan like a syllabus bifurcation is there for the entire term or for the academic year, but you should have a plan for that 40 minutes that is available with you for a particular class. So when you are going to a particular class, you need to have something in mind that I need to do this much. Maybe you may get little less only done, but nevertheless what you need to do is that you need to have a proper plan. I need to do that. So that time is actually organize the day by priorities. That means time plan is not just like that 40 minutes, but before that itself, you are starting that, I need to do something for my class, whether my class is for 7th or 6th or 8th, for that matter, any classroom, where you are going, what I am going to do, I have to have a priority for that. So prioritize things either in writing or store it in your mind, then you will be able to perform well. That if your skill is better in time management, what you can do, then you will be able to give a good impression in the minds of the children. That is very important. Whether you are teaching very nicely on the board, but the children are not following, our effort is not successful. Maybe we are 50%, 60 or 70 like that. Delay till last moment, procrastination. That means sometimes what we do, we are preoccupied with other activities. At home we are very busy. Then last moment I will take the lesson pages and just go through. That go through is actually something which is killing our own reputation. So what we need to do, plan it. If you have got a weekend, you can plan for what I am going to do on Monday, on Tuesday, Wednesday, like that. You can have some idea. On the previous evening, what you can do, you can have a better planning done. If you need to memorize something or if you need to revise something, do that. So that is something which is important, and expect some kind of crisis. That means if you are going to face some problem while teaching, maybe you may forget also some contents, and you have the option of using the textbook or notes, whatever. Okay. At the same time, if I am using the notebook all the time, textbook all the time, and seeing here I am writing on the board, again looking and writing, so that even the child can do without a teacher. A teacher should be able to have connection. If you are starting with a particular topic, one definition is there, and the teacher is seeing one word, then writing that and again another, then the students will easily understand that the teacher is not prepared. So that is something which is very dangerous. Now we want our children to be disciplined, isn't it? Every one of us, we need our children to be 100% silent, all focused, listening to the class, right? So you can respond also, okay? We all want that. But at the same time, what is the discipline in us? When we are entering a classroom, we also should be disciplined. Discipline in what all areas where we have to be disciplined in understanding the children. We have to be disciplined in treating all the children alike. We should not show any kind of bias. I'm asking always, when a question is put, I'm always asking one teacher that question. And again question goes to the same person, then what about the others? They will feel neglected. So what is the best thing to do is when we are asking something, make it like asking somebody from here, then another one there like that, and next day remember that pattern. So we have in the mobile now we have got pattern, isn't it? Change the pattern next day. Ask someone different. Then third day change the pattern. So that means everybody will be alert. Teacher is going to ask me something. So the student will be listening to you. And if suppose you never ask anything to a particular child, he feels neglected. Maybe he is neglected at home also. That means what will happen? He will become a disciplined, problematic child. So that, how we can avoid that? We need to be always flexible in our mind, and we need to have in our mind that who are asked questions the day before, now whom I will be asking questions next day and the day after, like that. So all those storage capacity and ability should be there in us. Then the child will not be able to predict you. If child is able to predict you, the teacher is going to be silent and maybe not teaching or not focusing. So the backbenchers will start sometimes eating, sometimes playing, isn't it? But unpredictable teacher. A teacher is having, sometimes teacher will become very humorous. Then next moment teacher will be little strict. So that is what a good teacher should be unpredictable. Okay, then the children will be always alert. Let's proceed. So we need to observe, keen observation power. So we need to observe the child, and very easily we can find out that the child is listening or not. Isn't it? In our class, we can find out whether the child is listening. Otherwise, the way the expression, the way he is sitting, sometimes will be restless, he or she, Okay, you take it that. So child will be restless, sometimes child will be maybe like this, sometimes just like that, sometimes turning just the pages, sometimes what the child will be doing, will be scribbling something here, some diagram, something. Why? Because the teacher is not having that observation ability and trying to correct it. So something is wrong with whom? Not only with the child, with the teacher also. If a child is scribbling on his book, drawing a diagram. That means the child alone is not responsible for that. Who is responsible for that? And as a teacher, I am not very successful. I may be a very pronounced teacher, very senior teacher, or maybe a rank holder. Doesn't matter. So if I am successful, my students won't do like this. That means I need to develop little more skill, isn't it? So we have to sharpen the tools. As a teacher, the teaching is our tool, isn't it? What need to be done? Good teachers are observant. We are teaching using the board, blackboard or any kind of board. Okay, we are teachers. But not only that, we need to be observing. Whom we need to be observing? Everyone in the class. Not that the one who are sitting right in front of you. Always, be asking questions to those people who are in front. Who will be sitting in front? The ones who are little studious ones. Isn't it? If you are rotating, that is a different story. Otherwise, a few, 2-3 rows, fine. They are listening to you. And actually, who needs more teaching and more your care? The one sitting at the back side. So if you are not observant, what will happen actually? Those who are sitting at the back rows will be secluded, isn't it? They are neglected. So what they feel? They will be finally deprived of your excellent teaching. Even if you are teaching so nicely, but you are focusing on the just front row. So what is going to happen? The children will feel that, those children, okay? Maybe about 30 to 40% children will be thinking, I am not even looked. So what I can do, whatever I wish. But that should not be the case. You have to be observant, means from one corner to the other. Again, unpredictable. The child sitting there should feel that, okay, I am noticed, I am cared, I am taken care of, I am being just motivated. All these things, the children should feel. That feeling will come, when we are focusing. 100%. He is good. He is in my class. He got 100%. After board examination, teachers claim my 2 students got 100 out of 100 in 12th grade. Okay, but the same teacher, will she tell that, okay, 1 student failed? Will teacher say? No, isn't it? That means I am ready to take the credit, and I am not ready to take that discredit, isn't it? My students failed or scored less than 50%. Have you ever seen any teacher? They are all students, isn't it? Once upon a time, right? So no teacher takes that, that kind of blame. But good teacher, should be able to do that. We need to understand every child in the class. So when we do that, every student in your class will feel that, okay, I am being noticed, I am important. Okay? So that means that self-dependence will be there in the children. Teaching always looking or without looking, writing the notes and explaining every time, but not asking questions to the students. So we have to keep our children engaged. That means all of a sudden, if you find that the children are slightly getting bored, okay, so what you can do? You can ask them, okay, just stand up. Then just some kind of exercise, just hands up, down, something, or just crack a joke related to the subject. Also, you can relate your subject with anything that is happening in our life. I do that in 12th. Okay. So what is there? We have to engage our children in whatever way that best known to us. Individual. It's all individual ability only. Some people know they don't crack any joke in the class. All monotonous. So if you cannot crack jokes or fun, what you can do? Change the modulation. Change the modulation of your sound. You can be raise the volume or change the motivation. And then you are going to tell something, some story, maybe a simple one only, but in a different way, they will be keen. Even small ones, especially 6 to 8 and all, adolescents and all, they will be very happy to listen to you. You are going to say something. Oh, once upon a time, there was a king. Like that, little dramatism, you should bring in the classroom. Your student will be engaged in that. Okay? So, what all you can do when you are in a class, the procedures and routines, then all those taking partners, hands-on activities, you can ask them to make, that they can have, important things written. That is called a flag, something like that they can make and they stick in the textbook pages or in the notebook page, important things. Some activity you give. And now when we are teaching, okay, I am teaching somewhere near the board and I am just teaching. No, what you can do, you can walk around. You have to walk around like this. Okay, and sometimes you can go into the gallery where the students are sitting. Go there. Not always be near to the board and then all one like that. Okay, what also you can do is you can go there and while turning back and walking, that time also you have to talk. It is not that oh, I reach that end and then I'll stop and talk something, so that what will happen then, the child will have to look back, isn't it? Turn back like that. So when they turn back, it's a good thing. You are indirectly giving an opportunity for them to relax their neck muscles. Indirectly. Next time you walk into the other area and turn back. So what will you do? The other side, they are turning, isn't it? It's a good exercise. So that way, you can make the students engaged and they'll be happy to be in your class. So they will say, oh, tomorrow I have the Hindi class or science class or maths class. My maths teacher is superb. They talk to parents. And the parents talk to the community, their friends. So what will happen? Your demand will be more. When during the promotion time, many people approach. So give me that teacher, like that. Why? Because that teacher has got something great. And you all will be able to become that teacher for the next academic year. When we follow the instructions, what you are learning now, doesn't matter how many years of experience you have got. Well, you may be new to the system, but you practice positive things, you will be the most sought after teacher. That's our credit, isn't it? If something like that, 10 students are asking for me, I feel very proud of it. And then other teacher will become envious, isn't it? No problem. Okay, so every teacher should have a healthy competition that students should try for me. I am the best teacher in the section. I am the best teacher in the school. Is something which is great about that. The service awards for 10 year, 20 year, 30 year. These awards won't count about the ability of a teacher, how she or he can impact the child. So what can impact the children? The way we impart knowledge to the students. So some kind of fun activity, engagement. Okay. Now at the same time, another important area is we are sometimes very ruthless. Okay. We are very tough on children. Maybe all the children. That's why we get a brand name. She is very strict. Isn't it? He is very strict. So is that a good thing? Is that a good thing? At times it is a good thing. Okay, we can't say whether it is good thing or not a good thing, but at times it is a good thing. We need to be strict. As I told you before, we need to be unpredictable. At times, we are very soft. We are soft, cracking joke, or nicely explaining things. Somebody is doing a mischief. Oh, nice. Like that, we should not. We have to be strict also. Okay. So what is there? Our primary thing should be patient and kind. If a child is doing continuously something wrong in the class, not listening, and maybe back answers, then we think that he is not good. He or she is not good. She is very arrogant, rude towards the teacher. Who is responsible for that?
The teacher.
The teacher is also responsible for that. The teacher is also responsible for that. If I am English teacher, my job is not just to teach English. My job is to teach him everything, good thing. Okay, whatever he needs to learn, my job is to teach him that. So if he is rude in the class, if he is constantly disturbing you, maybe there is a reason, maybe some reason you are able to resolve, maybe you are not able to resolve. Just note down the name and try to call him. Try to call him. Okay, when possible, try to call him and talk to him. Beta, or Betty. Yeah. For girls also you call Beta only, right? Yeah. Yes. So, what is the problem? I find you are not listening to the class. Is there any reason? Then with a compassionate approach, the child will break down, will tell the reason, or will be more attached towards you. So teacher needs to be counselor also. So we have got counselor. If at your level you cannot get him into normalcy, what you can take the help of the section head or the counselor also. So what is there? We need to be kind. All the time, we are frustrated, showing, that, we are depressed. Doesn't solve the issue, is it? So we have to have all those things. Keep at home. Our stress is there, family related stress. Leave it at home. Okay, children may be sick. But when you are in your classroom, in front of you 35 kids are there. Treat them as your own child. Okay, your own children. And then not ignore actually, just forget for that time being, forget about that your child is sick and he is at home. Otherwise what will happen? I am explaining something on the board. My mind is full of worries about my child. I won't be able to do justice with my students. And my students are like my son or daughter. When I am in the classroom, my student is my son or daughter. Keep that concept. Then every child in the class will start loving you. At times, you beat somebody. I am not telling that you do that. Physical, corporal punishment is not allowed. Even if you do that, the child will not blame you or go and complain against you. Okay, that is actually the rapport. Child knows that you will not do anything to him without him committing any mistake. So that's something, that is the confidence. So what is real? The kind approach. The kind approach between you and how to be. Okay? Now what is required, as I told you, when you have so many worries, issues, many issues are possible, isn't it, for human beings. We were, in more than 2 years, we were suffering like that. We were not able to sit together like this, lockdown and issues, isn't it? Okay, so issues are always there. And probably we can't find anybody having any issue, isn't it? So what is there? We need to resolve our personal issues. We have to find patience. We have to have patience with ourselves. Okay? Then, no problem. Okay? You will be able to be a good teacher. And patience with the colleagues. Sometimes, ego problems. Sometimes so he is not good with me. He is not good with me, or she is not good with me. Or she always tells bad about me, or backbiting, leg pulling, all these are terms, isn't it? If she is not good with me, I can be good with her, isn't it? I can be good with her. So if somebody, she doesn't like me, but that is not an issue because I can like her. So that way, any problem can be resolved by speech, by talking. Okay, so peace with the colleagues. Then patience with the students. Patience with the students will come only with the other two. If you have got, you are burning with, anger, frustration, distress, all these things, then, I'm going to the class and, dear children, I'm very happy to be here. Can you do that? No. And when you are walking in the corridor and finding somebody, whom I don't like or she doesn't like me, and then, greeting, how are you, like that, and after that I am entering the class, I will remember that, what happened in the corridor. Dear children, I am okay, fine. I won't be able to do that, isn't it? So patience with the self, patience with the colleagues, and then patience with the children. And patience with the children, okay, that is the most important. Otherwise, what will happen? During Parents' Day, so I have no patience with my children. So Parents' Day will come, and then you will take up point number 1, 2, 3, 4. And rest of the parents will be watching, thinking that, oh, he is some kind of, gunda or something like that. That parent will be burning. You what to do like that, then somebody will explode, isn't it? And then you will have to enter into an argument about that, okay? So no parent in the world, no teacher parent, okay? No parent in the world want to listen something negative about the child. We must understand that. We have to twist things and tell them, oh, he is very brilliant. If he listens little more in the class, he should be getting 90%. Little more listening power should increase. That word terminology, actually, those things, parents may not understand. Some parents may understand also, but they will understand, but then others won't understand, okay? That, what exactly you mean to say that. So he is talking in the class, who is responsible? If he is talking in the class, I as a teacher is responsible. If I am not able to manage my class, he will talk. If I am not teaching him properly, he will talk. That is also important. Communication skill. You know that we need to communicate very well. Many issues can be solved when we are able to communicate properly, okay? So what happens in the classroom? We are not born as native English speakers. So we need to practice. We need to train ourselves. Doesn't matter, little bit grammatical mistakes, whatever, we just don't think too much about that, but we need to improve. So the month number 1 maybe not that great in the language, but month 2, second month, third, and all, constant improvement. That students will feel that, oh, my teacher was not that great in the beginning, now she is very nice. So that children will not remember about the past, but we elders, we remember too much about the past. That is the kind of reason for the worries also. So communication is important. This is the most important. If you have the concepts clear, then your teaching will be very nice. What happens is that teachers go to the classroom without proper preparation. I told you before also, you need to have a kind of preparation of your subject. Now that this area where the senior teachers are better, isn't it? Senior teachers, they have got 15, 20 years of teaching, saying NCRT like that, isn't it? So they don't need to revise and learn things, but the new ones need to maybe grasp things, and they need to sometimes memorize also, and don't fumble. And when I am teaching, in between I lost. So what I should do? What I should do? Open the book and see and do, but that is not a problem. But the child will rate you. Oh, teacher doesn't know, and teacher is asking me to memorize and come in one day. Teacher is teaching here for 20 years. Still the teacher doesn't know a definition or a formula. The student will understand. Nowadays, students, the mind is faster than the elder ones. So what is there? They understand. You are not prepared. When you are not prepared, then what the student will do? They will come and talk to the friend. They will say, teacher doesn't know anything. So as a teacher, actually, our first thing is to have our knowledge, everything is up to date. Prepare nicely, spend time and prepare nicely. Subject knowledge, there is no substitute for that. Rest everything can be little bit modified and all, but we need to have our subject knowledge ready. So otherwise what will happen, as I told you, I need to refer to every line, and in the notes writing here, again writing here. Students will sit at the back row and they will eat, and they will be doing some playing and this and that. So what is required is nice preparation of the subject. Whether you are maths teacher or SS teacher or any subject teacher, you need to do that. But for English teachers, they can blah blah, they can say something, isn't it? But maths teacher cannot have anything like that. Maths teacher should have all the steps ready. It should be like a flow. If the flow stops, student will, some smart ones also may be there. The smart ones will, I know better than the teacher. And then what will happen? The smart ones, when you are traveling, that smart student is also there in the airport. He will see you from distance and he will walk like that. And on the other hand, somebody, little bit, low achiever, maybe a failing student will see, wow, sir, madam, you are here. Oh, nice to see. Experienced or not?
Yes.
That is it. So why? Because when you were a teacher to him, you fumbled. You couldn't prove that you are the best teacher. So what happens now? That stigma on you that remains forever. When that child sees you, will think about that classroom where you are making the excuses, this and that. The child must have asked you some doubt. Why you are asking doubt? This is the time. I have to finish the portion. Why asking doubt? You have to ask doubt. If you don't know the answer, it's not possible for everybody to answer everything. Sometimes you may not remember what you should do. Sit down. Don't ask me doubt now. Okay? Ask me tomorrow. Okay? The child will feed it in the mind. Ask me tomorrow. But you can say that in a different way. Beta, I don't remember it right now. I refer and tell you tomorrow. So when I say that, I'll feel that okay, my dignity is gone as a teacher. My dignity and oppress or object the child from asking you any doubt. So altogether, what we consider that we need to have a positive attitude. Everything, whatever I said, all those things are related to positivity, isn't it? So positive attitude, smiling attitude. Okay. So that taking things in a lighter version of that. But positive attitude means we need to see the child, understand his problems if at all, can't expect every child to understand you when you explain one time and do it two times if needed, or if some child is telling you, others are writing some notes, one child doesn't know, okay, asking you, go up to him and solve it there on his book, notebook. And when you are writing on his notebook a solution of a particular problem, he will never forget you. He will rate you as the best teacher. When others are not doing, you are going up to him and explaining. He will go home and tell his mother, Mama, today this thing happened. Teacher came to me, I never expected. That is how you unpredictable, isn't it? You are unpredictable. You may do all these things to get the child into proper education. So be positive. Authoritative personality. Personality is important. How you go and groom yourself and go to the class. That is also important. Or you are shabbily dressed, or you don't take care of about your haircut or this or style or whatever. Children will see that. Okay. So your personality is important. Build an authoritative personality. So what our personality is. When I am coming to the classroom, I am just like energyless, like that I enter. So what will happen? The children also, this is a boring class. Like that, somebody will make some comment and then they will not listen. But each time you enter a class, normally we say that first period very nice, second period also very nice. I'm always getting last period, seventh period. So seventh period, when you are entering a class, although you are lethargic, maybe tired, but that should not be shown to the children. When you are entering a classroom in seventh period, then also you should enter in the classroom the same way you entered in first period. That means what is there? You are having some suffering, but that is not shown to the class. When your student knows the rest, all the teachers are entering the classroom, little last period and taking something and not ready to teach. You are going smartly and teaching them. That means what is going to happen? They will acknowledge you as a great teacher. Okay. So confidence is very important. So authoritative personality will go a little faster. Involve students to create classroom guidelines. Sometimes you can ask also students what to do. This is what is actually our plan, and how to do better in that. Some kind of guidelines you can ask and get from the children. Okay? I think the time is almost done. We'll go a little faster, otherwise another day. Make room for initiatives. So the children, they have got tremendous ideas. Isn't it? One child, with one mixer, and the child was able to make fan and somebody for maybe 8 or 9 applications. Children have got their storehouse of ideas and information. Okay, so what is to be done? Involve them and seek some of the initiatives also. With the help of the children, they can do things and always appreciate also. Okay, and make room for initiatives. Can I proceed? Then incorporate interactive teaching techniques. So needless to say that interactive teaching is always welcome. Otherwise, what will happen? They will not show anything, but they will not be listening also, and there is no output. So better yield or output will not be there. schedule fun activities. So already, you can have some activities, maybe some kind of gaming or something related to the subject. Even you can have their support in making things, make flashcards. Okay, you can develop that habit of making flashcards. Flashcards means make a card like that, and then let them draw some diagram. Sometimes the formula or any word meanings and all these things. You can ask the class to do that. You are doing something different from others. So what they will do? They will be happy to do that. And when they are happy to do that, your reputation will be higher. Some kind of fun activities. And address bad behavior immediately. Now you are seeing that some kind of paper gun shot, okay? Or you continue to teach, but the student will do it again, isn't it? And if somebody is fighting, you have to address to bad behavior immediately. It can be of any kind of bad behavior. Even maybe some earlier there was some kind of trend that just pouring ink on the teacher also, teacher's board. But basically from the front row, teacher is just turning and writing and here, getting that. But now that trend is not there anyway. So any kind of bad behavior should be addressed immediately. So try to solve it within your level. And if something which is of grave nature, okay, serious nature, then bring to the notice of the HR, okay. So that way, we need not be tolerant in case of bad behavior. Mild things, very small things, advise and finish it off. But don't take a small thing and writing big letter and giving to the HR not required. Okay. So that within yourself you can resolve it. Call them separately, call them outside even after the class, and tell them not to do like that. You are a good student. Praise him. Okay. So praise him, then he will. And sometimes the praises can give many other things also. During the lockdown, some class was there for higher classes, some studies were there. And that time one boy entered into our staff room next to me. So I called him, I was here, called him and I scolded him. I said, when people are not there, you have no right to enter, so don't do that. And then I scolded him little badly. The next day he came with an apology letter and one that some chocolate, something like that, and given to me. I said, letter, okay, I will take this item, and sir, you read that. So it was a big letter, A4 size, full page letter given, and what I mentioned to him that time, you are very dear to me. You are very dear to me, like that I told. Why scolding? Because just left 8th standard and reached 9th. So I said, you are dear to me. He got changed because of that one phrase. You are dear to me. He said that I received such a word from any of the teachers. So I will never do anything which is wrong, and please accept this, and if possible join me for a cup of coffee outside, like that also. Either thing, one word, okay? So that type of things will change the children. Okay, we are addressed bad behavior immediately and what all things we can do. And children, don't think that children will not be indisciplined. They will do things. They will. And if they don't do, they are not smart only. In the world, very key positions go to moderate children only. Not very studious people will be working under them. In a company, president, some people, they are president of a company, CEO of a company. But somebody got 99-95%, and where they are actually working under in the second or third level management. See the thing. So the children will be at times naughty, talkative, all these things we have to accept. But first understand why there is chaos in amidst a lecture. So if you find that the children are restless, they are having some discipline issues, the reason is the teacher. Okay? Because we are not able to motivate the children in the class. If one child is restless, he will take the support of the neighboring ones. So then it becomes a group. And the group will, again, it is contagious. Another group will be waiting for that. So what will happen? And there will be chaos in the class. Now, there are take picture and we will share it. Of a classroom requires patience and step-by-step process. We cannot attain anything all of a sudden. It takes time. So we have to give time its course of action. Okay, we cannot be a very fast result. We will not get. Not like fast food. They serve quicker, but not like that. We need to give the time. It is a step-by-step process, and the major role in making the classroom attentive and listening, the major role is played by the teacher. Okay, I am a teacher. I will make classroom the best place for learning, and that should be the motto of every successful teacher. So you can achieve greater results through regular implementation of the strategies which already I explained in a little faster way. And thank you so much for being